How are you feeling? What's the last week been like being back home?
It's been a struggle, Tony. I'm really weak. I lost about 25 pounds, not quite, but I lost a ton of muscle. The doctors say that my body was eating itself up because I wasn't getting no food. And I'm really weak. I'm starting to bounce back, but I'm still weak. I got a guy coming in next week going to start physical therapy with me. I got to go see a psychiatrist. And that'd probably be a good thing, just to talk about it and get it out of my mind. Glenda says she thinks she wants to go talk to somebody. I go, well, it's probably a good thing, babe. I go, you were under more strain than I was. I go, I was out there living it, but you were dealing with it. I go, I didn't have to deal with it. You did. I go, but it's just, and we set up in the hospital Saturday night, and just, she goes, are you sleeping? I go, no, I can't sleep. I'm just laying here. And she goes, well, can I come over? I come over, sit down, let's talk. And we talked all night long. We just talked and talked and talked, and she started showing me texts and Facebook stuff and everything that was going on, and I was just so overwhelmed. I couldn't believe the amount of love people were pouring out on me and praying for me. It was just amazing. And I didn't realize that much stuff because I didn't see all the helicopters. I seen planes flying around once a time, but I only seen 2 helicopters. You know, it was just amazing.
Take me back to that day that you left the house here to go up the hill. A storm was coming in. What exactly happened?
Well, Glenda left for work about 6, a little after 6. I probably left out about 6:30. I went to Costco, got gas, filled my truck up with gas, and then I stopped at a store, bought me another bag of nuts and a couple more cups of coffee to have through the day. And then I just drove up the hill like I normally do. And I haven't hunted that side all year. And I go, well, I'll go over here and just look around. And I've been on that road by Camp Fresno probably over 1,000 times. That's one of my main thorough-throughs, and I go over to the 10S13, and I've been up to the top of Swamp, the same road, probably a dozen times, maybe less. Sometimes I'd go all the way up, sometimes I wouldn't. And I said, well, I'm not going to go back down. I'm going to go all the way across. And I got up to the top there. It was probably, I'm going to say around noon, 1 o'clock. I go, I'm going to sit here and look at the map and make sure I'm on the right roads. And I was, and I sat there and ate a couple pieces of jerky and a handful of nuts. And I just backed up about 10 feet. And I just took off right down the Jeep trail. The other road was back over here to the left of me further. And then as soon as I went off the first ledge, I go, this isn't the right road. And I look up, there's a tree down there a little ways in front of me, got a diamond with a Jeep on it. And I go, oh, no, I'm in trouble. So I went down, turned around, and came back up. And I couldn't get back up to the spot. I go, oh, shoot, I'm in trouble. So I turned back around, and I'm sitting there looking down the canyon, and I'm going, well, maybe this will feed out the bottom, and I'll come out over there by Tamarack somewhere or something. And it didn't. It just went down there about a mile, maybe 2. I don't know exactly how far. I wasn't looking at the mileage. And then I got down there, and it stopped, and so I got out and walked around. And I go, oh, man, this ain't going to feed out. I can't get through this. So I turned back around and drove back up, and I'm parked on a rock. And there was a sign there with the trail sign on it. And I go, well, I know I went by here. And then it just started snowing. And I go, well, I'm not moving now. I can't move around in this. So I just prepared myself to sit in the truck all night. And then when about 7 o'clock in the morning, I believe, I opened the door up and it raked the snow out of the way. I go, oh my goodness, it snowed. So I got out a little bit, but then I started looking at the top of the truck. I go, oh my goodness, there's 2 feet of snow on me. And I go, well, we're not going anywhere for 3 or 4 days. This has got to melt before I can even move. And so on the 4th day, the snow was melted and I could see the rocks and stuff. And I tried to move a little bit, broke my cooler for my transmission off, and I was leaking transmission fluid. So I go, well, got to fix that. So I turned back around, parked back where I was, got my toolbox out and jury rigged that and spliced it back together with a hose. And I go, well, this will hold it. I go, hope I didn't lose that much transmission fluid. From looking at it, I said, well, probably lost a quart, maybe two. So I go, but it worked. And I sat there another day. And then the next day, on the fourth day, I got out and I go, there's got to be a trail sign somewhere, because there was a tree right over here in front of me, and I was kind of facing south. It said west, but I was looking at the mountain, and I go, well, there's got to be trail signs. So I got out and walked around about 150 yards around, and I seen the trail sign on a tree. It was behind a tree, so I couldn't see it. So I looked at it, and then I found a couple more spots, and I go, well, this is going to take me down here. And so I got up there, and the snow was pretty much gone on all the rocks because it had melted, but it was still on the dirt spots. And I drove down, followed the trails down there, and I got to a place where I called it the Gauntlet, because it went between two big rocks, probably about as wide as this room, and it kind of swooped down and did this. And I'm going, so I walked it like 3 or 4 times looking, and I'm going, man, I don't even know if I can get through here. There's some big stuff. I go, so I stood up there and I go, well, if I bounce off that rock, I'll hit that rock, then I'll bounce back this way. And then I go, well, and so I go, okay, well, let's give it a whirl. And that's exactly what happened. And I hit it pretty hard, and I did bounce off of it a few times, and I made it through it. And then I got down over at another spot and drove up the hill, and I tried to go up this one grade, and I got up there and I go, I can't get up that. There's no way, man. This high, the step on it was. I go, this truck ain't gonna go up that. So I backed back down and got onto a flat spot, parked the truck on a rock. And this is probably 11 o'clock in the afternoon. The sun did not start hitting me until like 10 o'clock in the morning. And that's when it got warmed up. But I tried for days to get a fire started. I had a lighter. It wouldn't work. It's been in my backpack probably 25 years, but it wouldn't work. And then in my backpack, my wife always had me plenty of hats and things to put on my head, and gloves. I had like 8 pair of gloves. So that evening I got the gloves out and I'm looking at them, and I got one pair that flops over for shooting. And I go, okay. So I cut them down the center, cut the fingers open, slipped them on my feet. I had a roll of electrical tape in my console. I don't know why, but I electrical taped the flaps down, slipped them on my toes, because I slept in my shoes a few nights, and I'm going, man, it is cold. I'm going to get frostbite. I can't sleep in these shoes. And then I had a towel I cut in half, and I wrapped it around my feet, around my lower legs. Then I had 2 coats, and I slipped my feet inside the coat, sleeves of my coat. And I go, well, this is as warm as I get. And I did sleep in the seat for a few nights, and then I go, I can't sleep like this. So I got my toolbox out, pulled the seat out, threw it in the back of my truck, and pulled the seat covers off of it. I got to looking at the seat covers, and I go, these look like they might have a little wool in them. I go, that might help me stay a little warmer. So I just slipped them in, tied it around my waist, put a coat on top of that, and then I had a big king-size sheet that I kept in case I killed something to wrap it up in. And I wrapped it around my waist, tied ropes around that, just to stay warm. But sleeping in a Dodge Dakota is not a very comfortable situation.
So it sounds like after day 1, you probably considered yourself to be lost.
I wasn't lost, but I knew I was going to be there for a few days. You know, I knew where I was, but I never been on that Jeep trail because I've never had a vehicle to go down it. But I made the mistake of driving down it, and I couldn't get out. But I never really considered myself lost. I just knew that I was in trouble because nobody knew where I was at.
Did you think that there was a lot of people actively looking for you?
I did not know how many. I knew there was going to be people looking. My first prayer was to my wife. I told her, look, babe. I go, you got to get a hold of Jeff Dodd. I go, Jeff knows everybody. He'll get the ball rolling. People will start looking for me. And that was my first prayer between me and God.
Jeff, of course, one of our former sheriff's department employees.
Yes. And we go to church together, and he's become a really close friend of ours. Now he's even closer. But yeah, I just told him, I go, hey, get a hold of Jeff. Jeff will know what to do. He'll know the people to call. And he did. Jeff got all over it. He's awesome. He's going to be a special part of my family from now on.
Now, we had, obviously, people on the ground, in the air, looking for you. What were some of the measures you took to try and make yourself found?
You know, I had an emergency blanket in my truck that my wife always kept in my backpack. One side was blue, one side was silver. I literally cut it in half because I wrapped half of it around my legs and tied it on every night. And the other half I used to cover my body. But I tied those on top of the cabin of my truck once the snow fell off of it. And, you know, I put one side up silver so it reflect the sun. And the blue side I stuck on my hood. I tied those up so hopefully the sun would reflect and somebody would see it. And finally, at day 15, I finally got a fire started. I've been trying, and I had magnesium and a flint. I had 4 rolls of toilet paper, and I had 5 old maps that I've had that are probably 40 years old. And I just said, you know, I've tried this so many times. I go, you know, I start rodding up toilet paper, and I go, toilet paper will burn good if I get it started. And then I laid out a big square about this big of the maps and stuck it on there and shaved off all the magnesium. But this time I did about $50 worth of it. I go, well, this is bigger. And then I laid the toilet paper on top of it. And I had a bunch of little sticks, and I'm going, well, I think I'm prepared. If this thing blows up, I'm going to start feeding it. And it did. It blew up. Toilet paper caught on fire. And then I started catching the wadded up maps on fire. And then it started going. I started throwing sticks on it. And then I jumped for joy. I was so excited I had a fire. So all the wood within 200 feet of my truck in all directions, I went and gathered up the next 3 days. And I'd have a pile of wood this high on a fire, probably this big, every night. I go, I hope this burns all night. If it's warm in the morning, I'll get it going again. And I did. I got it going for 3 nights. But then the wood got so far away, I'm going, you know what? It's getting too far away. I'm not going to go up and haul it back 100 yards now. And that's when Friday night come, and that's when I was sitting in the truck, and I told the Lord, I go, deer season's ending on Sunday. There's going to be a ton of people up here hunting. I said, we either got to walk out tomorrow or I got to sit here and die in this truck, Lord. I go, you got to tell me what to do, Father, because I don't know what to do. I go, I haven't had any food in 5 days. I go, I'm weak. And I go, you got to wake me up and tell me what to do in the morning. And about 6:45 in the morning, something hit me on the forehead. And I woke up, and the Lord's in my ears. He's going, get your boots on. Let's go. We got to get going. And so I took all this stuff off of me, slipped my boots on because I had them right here next to me, and got in the back of my truck, took my guns out, laid them in the floorboard, covered them up with that blankets, threw my coats on, put my backpack on. I had 3 bottles of water I put in it and a couple hats. I didn't take the blanket with me, but put my phone in my pocket and had it turned off. And the Lord pushed me up that hill. He goes, let's go. And I locked the door up, threw the keys in my pocket, and I never looked back in my truck. I just started walking. I thought I was only going to have to walk maybe a mile or 2 to get up out of this hole. And it took me about 1 o'clock. I finally got to the top of the hill, and it just kept going and kept going and kept going. And I'm going, oh my God, it's a long ways up here. I thought I walked about 10 miles, but they said it was about 4.5. It felt like 10 miles. I was hurting so bad, my legs were giving out. And I'd tell the Lord, you got to pick me up. You got to help me get up. We got to keep moving. And he'd get me up, and I'd walk another 100 yards. But I could only walk maybe 50 to 100 yards at a whack, and I'd have to catch my breath because the air was so thin up there. But the Lord kept me moving. And then I lost my phone about a mile back, the last mile back probably. I don't know exactly where I lost it. I know where I was sitting, And I'm pretty sure that's where it was because I pulled it out because I'm looking down the valley. I'm going, well, it's kind of a straight shot. Let's see if my phone works. And it didn't work. And I went to slip it back in my pocket and I didn't get it in there good. And when I stood up, it fell out. I didn't hear it this time because I'm half deaf. I got hearing aids.
You were aware of the calendar. You knew hunting season was coming to an end.
I knew. I had this last week scheduled off from work to go up to Bass Lake because I was going to stay in my brother-in-law's timeshare and just hunt from there the last week. And that's what I've done the last 3 years.
So that was kind of a roll of the dice, risk reward. There might be some last minute hunters on the trail. Let's see if I can get found.
Yeah. And then I get down the other side and I'm sitting there and I'm kind of bawling to myself. And I'm telling myself, and I go, Lord, I look up, I go, it's close to 5 o'clock. I'm just looking at the sun because I don't have no way to tell time no more. I go, it's getting close to 5. I go, I either got to start a fire out of that pile of wood, or I go, you got to bring a car up this road to save me, Lord. And he goes, look up. And I looked up and there were headlights and I go, oh my God, instant answer, Lord. I never had an instant answer on a prayer. It saved my life. And these guys are looking at me at binoculars. And I just literally jumped up and started waving. And the guy's looking at me. And the guy in the front seat, he leans out the window, Ron Dailey. And I'm going, oh my God, they know my name. How do these guys know me? And it was just an awesome experience. And they jammed up the road and they start hugging me. And I go, are you guys Christians? They go, no, we're Catholic. I don't care. Come over here. And I wrap my arms around him and I start praying for all of us, thanking the Lord for the miracle and everything. And they go, you hungry? You want water? I go, I'm hungry. I haven't eaten 5 days. We got food. And they start giving me food. 3 really nice guys.
Food's obviously important, but water even that much more. Were you able to stay hydrated through the whole time? And then talk about your phone. You were able to keep it charged?
I had a charger in my truck that I found that I didn't know I had in there. But my wife gave me a solar charger like 3 years ago. It's been laying in the console of the truck. So I did charge it, and I kept it charged. And I charge my phone probably 5 times a day because I left Glenda probably 30, 40 messages on there that wasn't going anywhere. And I messaged all my kids and told them a little bit and apologized to them that Grandpa probably won't be there for the rest of your lives, but I'll be watching you from heaven. And and that was probably the saddest part of my time up there, is making these messages, because you don't want to tell your loved ones you're going to die. But that's what I was looking at. But the Lord had some different plan for me, and he really took care of me. But I never lost faith. Even when I went without food for the 6 days, I never went hungry. I never felt hungry or nothing. The Lord really gave me peace. I mean, I couldn't believe how calm I was. I couldn't cry. And I told the Lord, I go, I'm up here. I go, I know what's going on, Lord. I go, but I can't cry. And he just tell me, it's going to be okay. You don't have to cry. He goes, we're going to take care of all this. Don't worry. But it just had to be in his timing. He was the one that had his plan already set up for me, and he's watching over me.
What advice would you give to somebody should they ever find themselves in a similar situation to you?
Always tell people where you're going to be. And if you're not going to be in that area, try to get a hold of something, leave them a message somehow or another. Buy a phone with GPS on it. And my phone was old. I didn't have that stuff. But, information is the best thing, because it would have helped you guys. I did talk to a Forest Service guy, and I told him, he's in his truck, and I told him, well, I'm probably just going to go over the top of swamp. I go, I don't want to go back this way, because I already passed like 6 pickups hunting this road. And I'm not one of the guys to eat guys' dust and just follow them around. So I said, I'll just go over the top of swamp. And it mainly is you got to stay calm, stay focused, and just use the stuff you have in your vehicle. Don't squander your food. Be generous with what you have. Make it last. Because you can live on low calories. I know. Because I lived on probably 50, maybe 60, 70 calories a day for 14 days. It's what it took me to eat up 900 calories. I just have a couple little bites and wrap it up and put it away. But always take more than what you need, because you never know what's going to happen.
Do you think, you talked to this Forest Service officer, did you think, oh shoot, hopefully maybe he recognizes me if there's a picture floating out there and he kind of tells the authorities where I'm at? Or
I was hoping that, but I don't know if he ever did or not, you know.
No, he didn't, unfortunately.
You know, but he probably seen 100 hunters driving that road, and you know, to remember every truck and every person,
right,
is kind of. But I'm really surprised he didn't remember my face, because we only talked, Tony, for a couple minutes maybe. You know, it's not like I really impressed upon him, but that was like 100 yards from where I turned up to go up the hill.
So what's the future hold? Do you ever go hunting again? Does this change your life? What's that discussion look like?
No, I'm done. I'm done hunting. I love hunting. I've been hunting since I've been a little kid, 3 years old. I've been up there with my dad and parents and grandparents and brothers and sisters. We used to take a week and a half and go up there during deer season to Camp Fresno every year back in the 60s. And I was only like 4 years old, you know. But I told my wife, I go, I'm done, babe. I'm really done hunting. I go, I promise God I won't shoot no more of his creatures, you know. And she goes, are you sure? I go, no, I'm done. I'm done. I'm not leaving you no more. I go, I left you for 20 days. I've never been away from my wife for more than 5 to 7 days during deer season. That's the furthest I've ever been.
What about even like camping though? If you had other people with you, if you invested in a satellite phone, you had better measures, do you want to rob yourself of a chance to enjoy the outdoors?
No, I don't. I love the outdoors. That's why I go up there. I love to drive around in God's creation. It's beautiful up there. There's a lot of beautiful stuff to see. I've taken guys up there with me before and they go, how do you know all this stuff? I go, I've been driving these roads for 50 plus years. I go, I was driving when I was 10 years old for my dad, because he was left-handed. He couldn't drive and watch. And he asked me, he goes, can you reach the pedals, Ron? And I go, well, I think so, Dad. I don't know. Let's see. So I was driving a 65 GMC pickup back in the 60s when I was like 10 years old.
Do you think it would be too traumatic to ever go back into the wilderness?
No, I'm not fearful of the woods. I love the woods, but I would love to go camping with my family. My wife is not a camper. She wants glamping. She wants to stay in a hotel. We stayed at Camp Fresno one time, me, my wife, and my son, and we went through 17 cabins before she'd actually stay in one. She goes, you could see through the walls. And I go, babe, they're just little cabins. They're just keeping the rain off of you and the snow off of you. They're just to sleep in. And she goes, well, I don't like it. They're dirty. She wants a nice cabin that seals up. It's got a wood heater and stuff in it. But I have a great wife. She never lost her faith. She prayed. And my wife knows me better than I know myself. She knew I would not leave that truck till I knew that I was coming to the end. She knew I would stay there. And that's what she told Scott. She goes, he won't walk away from that truck. He will stay there until he thinks he can't stay no more. And that's exactly what I did.
What message would you want to send to the community now that this is all done?
I just want to thank all the people out there that were searching, looking for me, praying for me. It was just unbelievable how many people spent their own time, their own money to go up there and look for a person that they don't even know. And it was just awesome outpouring love and support from the community, the rescue people. And it was just unbelievable to me when my wife was showing me all this stuff. And I go, wow, this is just amazing. These people don't even know me, and they're spending their money and their time on me. It's just awesome. And I just want to thank everybody for what they have done. Even though they didn't find me, they truly tried hard. It wasn't that like nobody wasn't trying. They were all praying and trying to find me. I thank God for that. It's a real inspiration to know that the community could pull together like that and support each other. There's a lot of good people out there.